Welcome everyone to Devlog number 2. We aren't really ready to show off a finished level with gameplay just yet, so for this week we're going to do something a little bit different. In my last video, I got a comment from Nihilistic Goliath where he asks about the understanding of coding from team members. So I figured I could take today to make a video for those who don't know much about the process, the roles and the workflow of game development. Now this is obviously coming from someone who is not an industry professional, as I just finished my second year of university, and what I would describe a pretty bad university to begin with. But I will still explain how we work together as a team to achieve our goal of making this game. I would assume that some people have heard of Scrum or Agile Project Management. In school we learned how to use Scrum, and even though it has been problematic to implement at times, we have kept with it and we are using it for this project as well. So for those who don't know what Scrum is, I will explain this in loose terms. Scrum is a work process and a structure where the team makes a list of everything that needs to be implemented in the project, such as 3D models, levels, gameplay, and so on. Then you break all these major topics into smaller tasks. A task is basically defined as something more concrete that a team member work on. For example, hey Vilius, we need a 3D model of a bed. Here is a task for that. So you can work on that task basically. When you have broken all these major topics into tasks, everyone works on a task every day, and then you have daily meetings together with the team to discuss if you need any help and how's it going. We also have some leader roles for a Scrum process, which are called a Scrum Master and a Product Owner. The Scrum Master makes sure that everyone works on their tasks, and they also have a big role in the Scrum board, which is basically a whiteboard or a digital whiteboard with post-it notes that represent each task. The product owner is somewhat self-explanatory. They are the owner of the product and make sure that the product will be as good as possible and make sure that the team member knows what they're working on and what is a priority. So the product owner and the Scrum Master work very closely together to keep track of the Scrum board and keep track that everyone is working on what they're supposed to and that everything is running smoothly. Now, in order to understand what a game requires and how to break down these major topics into tasks, we have what we call leads for every major topic. For example, I am the lead level designer, so it is my job to make sure that the team understand what we require in order to make levels, how we build our levels, how we implement our game design, narrative design, art style, and everything that goes along into our levels in a proper way. And I also design the actual levels and its gameplay together with my team. For our project, we decided on having a Scrum Master, Product Owner, Producer, a Lead Artist, Lead Programmer, Lead Level Designer, Lead Game Designer, Lead Narrative Designer, Lead VFX and Animation Artist, and also a Lead Sound Designer. Now, these are quite a few lead roles for such a small team, but it is basically to make sure that we have people that are taking responsibility for each of these areas of the game and help the Scrum Master and the Product Owner to understand what is needed, how hard certain tasks are, and explaining the workflow for tasks as well to the team members. So as we look back at Nihilistic Goliath's comment again, I can now explain a bit easier why we don't really need everyone in the team to know any form of coding. As we have 4 programmers in our team, we have multiple people that can take on coding tasks, and if there's any problem with understanding a coding task or working on it, our lead programmer can step in and help our members understand it even better, and its workflow sometimes as well. Also, when it comes to implementation of the code into our game, our lead programmer is also very well known with the engine itself. So, now when we have all of that out of the way, I would like to introduce all of our team members as well as what their roles are in the project and a little bit about them. So to start off, we have Noah. Noah is our Scrum Master, lead artist, animator, and technical artist. So Noah joined Dandelion Developers team early during our Haunting Memories project. And Noah is absolutely one of the best Overwatch players I've had the pleasure of playing with. But his weakness is that he has an absolute horrible case of brain rot, let me tell you. Then we have Emma. She is our product owner, lead narrative designer, 3D artist, 2D artist, and she also does environmental art as well. So Emma has been a part of Dandelion Developers since the start of the Haunting Memories project, and she is a very hard worker, and lately she's gotten an interest in narrative design, which is really fun to see. Sadly, her biggest weakness is taking naps, and she absolutely hates the fact that she loves taking naps. And she naps quite a lot. And then we have me, Hampus. I am the producer, lead level designer, lead game designer, environmental artist, sound designer. I also do QA and marketing. I've also been here since the start of Haunting Memories, and I personally love level and game design, but my biggest flaw is I'm very forgetful, and quite obviously the fact that I'm a ginger. I mean, like, my friends actually call me the carrot. Then we have Philip. He is our lead programmer, and he also does game design. And Philip also joined us at the start of Haunting Memories project. He is an absolute machine when it comes to programming and Unity. Currently, we legit just all go to him for any help that we need whenever we have any sort of problem. I'm sorry, Philip, because he's just so damn good at everything. But his biggest weakness, though, I would say, is being able to respond to legit normal questions. Bruh. Like, what is your top 5 foods, Philip? We still haven't gotten an answer on that. Then we have Amanda. She's a programmer, game designer, level designer, and she also does a lot of our marketing. We had the pleasure of working with Amanda since the start of Haunting Memories, and lately she's been getting a lot more into marketing as well, and she is doing an absolutely fantastic job at marketing, which is super fun to see. But you should never join her in a Discord call on a Friday night, because her love for bibs make her into an actual menace. We also have Petri, who is our lead sound designer, programmer, and also helps with marketing. And Petri joined us for the first time at the start of What Comes Next, our current project. And Petri has a keen eye for programming, alongside being an absolute beast when it comes to sound design and also making his own music. Now, his weakness is, weirdly enough, just transportation. Petri is scared of water, swimming, he doesn't have a driver license, he told me he basically doesn't know how to ride a bicycle, and thus I would say if there ever was a zombie apocalypse, I don't think Petri would make it really far. Like, I'm sorry, Petri, but I don't think you would have a good chance of surviving, because it just seems that, like, you'll just be stuck in your apartment until it's over. Then we have Tulle, who does UI UX. He's a programmer and a level designer, and Tulle has been on board on Dandelion Developers ever since the start of Haunting Memories as well. He is the kind of person to stay up all night in order to work on something if it's important to finish it quickly. I mean, like, I've seen him do this so many times. He has so much dedication, but I don't think I've ever seen him be on time for school, which may be due to him working on game ideas that involve air fryers all day long. We also have Tim, our lead VFX, animator, 3D artist, environmental artist, and he also is an absolute beast at QA. So Tim absolutely blew my mind the first time I saw him make a 3D character. I mean, like, he is incredibly skilled in that field, and it is just a pure pleasure seeing him work on 3D characters for games. Tim's weakness, though, is absolutely his love for black and white checkered shirts, okay? We also have Vilius. He is a 3D artist, animator, and he is recently starting to get into a little bit of marketing with us as well. So Vilius recently joined the Dandelion team as a 3D artist, and he instantly showed off how incredible he is as a 3D artist, how hard he works, and he also started making YouTube channels to show off his banger time-lapse videos as well. Now, the only problem with Vilius is that he legit cannot stop networking. I mean, like, if you ever see this man, I guarantee he will either network with you or break it down with some sweet dance moves, and perhaps if you're lucky, maybe a combination of both. Then we have Lucas, our game designer, level designer, and programmer. So Lucas is one of our newest members in Dandelion, as he joined us for What Comes Next. And whenever I talk to Lucas, I can clearly see that he has a mind for game design, and he has shown me multiple times that he has a knack for coding and such a good workflow in Unity. The only problem is that we call him Counter-Strike Lucas, which is obviously a flaw by itself, but he also has a close friend, which is called League of Legends Lucas. So there's two of them, and the other one plays League of Legends. And I mean, like, as you can all hear, this is all just falling apart, right? This is all just falling apart right here. And then lastly, but not least, we have Amir, who is a 3D artist, animator, and he also does VFX. So Amir joined Dandelion at the start of What Comes Next to help us with his great animation and VFX skills. So far, he's been proving that he is an incredibly valuable asset to this team. We're working really hard on making great animations for our characters. Now, sadly, Amir is not in our class, so we don't really know him too well. Therefore, right now, his biggest weakness is being known mostly as Tulle's brother, because we don't know much of his personality or his characteristics, really. And that is basically it for this video today. I hope you have a better understanding of how our work process and our workflow when it comes to creating our game works. Obviously, I didn't really go in much into detail of like what tasks we actually have and like how we work on each individual task, because that would be so much. I just wanted kind of to talk about the process that we use, and I wanted to introduce the team as well. So I hope that you now know all the team members and what they do. And for next week, I'm actually really excited, because this time I can promise you next week, we're actually going to start having gameplay and a lot of our art in the next video. So today, we were doing a lot of work. Like, we actually had some people working legit like 12-14 hours today, it felt like. And we've just been pumping in assets. We've been working really hard on like trees and stuff like that. And our programmers have been working super hard on adding, you know, gameplay and all the systems. So we're now going to start playtesting, which means that on Friday, we're going to have so much more to show from the actual game. So stick around, and I'll see you for next video. And for now, have a great day.